Hi there, welcome back. So we're going to use the chrome powders again from Let's Resin. As I've said before, a little bit in love and obsessed with these. They're beautiful. So just going to show you them in the box. They come like this. There are another two, as you can see there, and with a brush for you to use. So they're from Let's Resin. Gorgeous colours. So I have picked a couple that I'm going to use. I'm also going to use one of these. These are the beautiful pastel twinkle tints glitter from Jules at Resin Jules. Fantastic. So everything we've used in today's video will be linked in the description box for you to be able to purchase. Right, so all I've done with these moulds, I've turned them inside out. They are what I would call bubble vase moulds, but I think they're called pebble vase moulds because of the shape. If you ever see towers of pebbles on a beach and so on. So I've turned them inside out, made sure they're nice and clean, and made a choice regarding the colours. I'm going to use this beautiful bluey grey chrome powder, and I'm just going to use the brush they supplied with it to apply it. So you load up the brush, I then tap it on the sides and just start applying it, and it's really random. Now that can be quite difficult to do. Just getting rid of a straggly hair there. Quite difficult to do. Now this part of the video has been sped up. There are other sections that have also been sped up because, you know, I took my time doing this. It's actually quite difficult trying to be random with things. But yeah, just applied it. Did it over a kitchen towel, as you can see, a piece of paper towel, because trying to catch the powder and the glitter tint that I was going to use, so it didn't go all over my working area. So I'm just going ahead there, applying it, and when I'm happy, I then move on to the other colour. And it did apply onto this mould really well. Look at that beautiful dark rose pinky colour. Absolutely gorgeous. Now I'm just going to see what it looks like with a bit of this lovely pinky corally colour twinkle tint from Jules, Resin Jules. So I'm trying to go for like mercury glass, vintage looking piece, perhaps a little bit Murano glass inspired as well, maybe. I knew I didn't want a solid colour. I wanted to combine the colours because I love these colours, mixtures, see if I could get that sort of old world vintage kind of look, you know, something that's got a bit of patina, a bit of age to it. So once I'd done the bigger mould, I moved on to the smaller mould, and I did that as well. Now turned it carefully back the right way, as you can see here. Look at that from the outside. Of course, all over my gloves. Just to say, don't forget your safety when you're using resin, mica powders, glitters, that sort of thing. Follow manufacturer's instructions when you're mixing up resin. Make sure you wear gloves, a respirator mask, eye protection, cover your arms, so long sleeve tops, sleeve protectors if you've got them, an apron, and work in a well ventilated area. So I was just showing you the colours I used again there. I've made up quite a lot of resin here. Probably too much actually for this container, so naughty me. There's about 500 mils, so it's a Tea Expert resin. It's just the resin of choice that we're using. We're not sponsored by anybody in this video at all. We're not sponsored by the brands. We purchase it ourselves. But Tea Expert happens to be the one that we like to use currently. We do also have mould resin. It's by Mould. It's not, you know, fungicidal or anything. It's called mould, and it's fantastic as well. So here I am just pouring a little bit into the smaller mould. Now, yes, spoiler alert, if you've not seen the video before this one, which came out on Friday, then not Friday, it came out on Sunday, then I think Sunday the 1st of June, that's it, came out on Sunday the 1st of June. It was some beautiful lights that you can see curing in the top left hand corner of the screen there. So although I made up a large batch of resin, I filled those moulds up first and then put the leftovers in these. So I've poured it into the mould, I've given it a good squidge just to try and get rid of any little air bubbles that might be trapped, and trying to persuade them to come to the surface, to dissipate, burst basically. and I do then make up some more resin. So made up some more resin, filled the small vase to the top, and I've popped it in a plastic mixing beaker or cup just to give it a bit more stability whilst it's curing. So I'm going around the top edge here of the mould with a micro brush, again just trying to persuade any little trapped bubbles to come to the surface and to burst. Quick spritz with some isopropyl alcohol. If you don't want to use that, then you can take a flame to them, and by that I mean use a long necked lighter. Don't let the flame touch the resin, otherwise you will have a fire. You need to leave it away from the surface of the resin. It just needs to heat the surface, and then the bubbles will pop. So here you can see me filling up the bigger of the two vase moulds with the rest of the resin, and I really thought I'd got enough. Spoiler alert, I didn't have enough, so I did have to make up some more. So I can tell you that this particular mould does actually take 500 mils of resin. Okay, so about 475 to 500 mils of resin. So that's a lot of resin. But again, poured it in, probably poured too much in, and squidged around the base of the mould there. Just trying to encourage any of the little bubbles that might be trapped to come up to the surface. So if you've joined us today, hello. Hope you've subscribed. If you haven't, we would really appreciate it if you did. It's free to do so. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe to our channel. Just hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification all button, which is the little bell thing. And then every time we upload a video, you'll be notified. Currently, we've dropped down to twice a week rather than 3 times. Usually it's Friday and a Sunday, 5 PM UK time. And when we go back up to doing 3 times a week, you'll also have one on a Wednesday at the same time, 5 PM UK time. They're usually how to make videos to give you a bit of inspiration on, you know, having a go with resin, whether that's epoxy resin, eco resin, whether we're doing decoupage, bit of mixed media perhaps. We are yet to experiment in the world of air dry clay and polymer clay, but that might be coming up at a later date. So we've topped the resin up to the top of this mould, spritzed it with some isopropyl alcohol, also going round the edge of it with a micro brush, again just trying to persuade those pesky little bubbles to dissipate. Now I put it to one side. Whilst leaving it to cure, we did babysit it for about half an hour, kept going back to it, getting rid of any bubbles that might pop to the surface and so on. And then this is the following day. There we go. By the way, if you've joined us in the live chat for the premiere, hi to everybody in the live chat. Hope you're enjoying this video. Let us know in the comments. Is there anything you do differently? Have you got any hints or tips that you can share with our viewing audience that, you know, you can recommend doing? Particularly, we've had a few questions recently from some first-time viewers who are thinking about going into the world of making things with resin. Wanted to know if there's any books that we can recommend. We don't have a book. However, there is a lovely lady called Mia from Make It Amazing. She has 2 books, I believe. I think you can purchase them through Amazon. If not, if you go onto the website makeitamazing.co, there's a lady called Mia Winston Hart, and she's the author. And yeah, order her books. They're very good. She also makes lots of other things to do with resin, which are also very good. And if you look at our playlist, you'll see recently we made some purchases from her. And then we show you what we've bought, and then we make some things with them as well. So why not check out our playlist and have a look at those? So here I am. I am struggling a little bit trying to demold this. I'm going in very gently, I might add there, with a stir stick, very gently indeed. I think I managed to get this second bit down, and then I give up. I give up. I do wear 2 pairs of gloves, so I've got black nitrile grip gloves, and then underneath that I've got some white cotton gloves, which I wear just for comfort for me, although unfortunate, yeah, it does impede demoulding of certain shaped moulds. These Yeah, it did exactly that. So if you're just wearing single gloves, single thickness gloves, whether it's you've decided to wear the nitrile gloves, or whether you've decided to wear some white cotton gloves perhaps to do demolding so you don't get any fingerprints and so on them, then you'll find this much more easy to demold than me. There you go, the helping hands of Wayne coming in, my tag team partner, as it were. Wayne, if you aren't aware, also does videos on this channel. He is my co-creator, not one of my co-creators. He is the co-creator of ideas, thoughts, and for the projects that you see. He quite often likes to do the collaborative projects as well, that we take part in. But you'll recognize him from his videos because usually he has beautiful, shiny, black painted nails. Yeah. So there we go. So he helps me sometimes with the demold process, which is when you see those other pair of hands come in. Now look at this big one. Goodness me. I do my best. It's all I can say. I do my best, but look how clear that resin is. You can see we've got a little bit of clear up to do on the top surface. And what I didn't realize at this point was we've also got a little bit of an issue with the way it's cured. Now, it doesn't detract from the overall appearance of the piece itself. You are Wayne coming in to demold it for me. Bless him. Thanks, Wayne. You're a star. It doesn't detract. What it was, we put this into what we thought was the biggest mixing cup we had, and we thought it completely clear of the sides, so it wouldn't be an issue. But it wasn't. And where you can see like a boning on the outside of the mould, the supports on the outside of the mould, those pressed in. And so unfortunately it's got a little dimples in places, is all I can say. Little, like not dents, but dimples. You can see one there, I think. But again, it's almost giving it an aged patinaed look. So vintage sort of thing perhaps you might find in, an antiques shop. And I really love this style of glass. Although this isn't glass, but there is a glass style and type that looks very similar to this. I must say that when we take these out, they make one hell of a pop sound. Unfortunately, couldn't edit that in. But very pleased with the way these have cured, apart from the little dimple bits on this one. Look, can you see there? We've got a little dimple there, another little dimple. But no air bubbles created problems in this particular piece either. Nice and clear, and look at the mix of those two colours, and obviously like the gold, the warm rose coppery colour that's just shining through there a bit is from the twinkle tint. Love these two. Absolutely love them. Now they will be up for sale on the website. They will be made to order pieces, so they're gonna take 2 to 3 weeks from the point where you put your order in for us to actually make them, let them cure, finish them, let them finish complete cure, and then get them sent out to you. So please bear that in mind. Obviously we won't be able to do them exactly the same. We'll be able to use the colours, but we won't be able to get them exactly the same each time. So they'll be similar, but unique as well. So just cleaning up these bases a little bit with the deburring tool, just taking off that sharp edge. Now it does leave a slightly sanded or worn edge look to it, and obviously we need to correct that, and we do that by using some UV resin. So we're just going to pop some UV resin on the top here, or the base I should say. So we just get some UV resin onto the base there. There we go, almost enough I think. Let's swirl it around a wee bit. This bit has been sped up as well. Take your time when doing this because you don't want it. You want to go up to the edge but not over the edge. We're just wiping off a little bit of residue resin. Now warning, you will see a UV light coming up soon. So let's just give you a bit of a warning there. It had gone over the edge unfortunately, as you could see there. Now I'm just using a little silicone tipped tool to pull the resin to try and persuade it out to the edge. Just to the edge of that base of the vase. We are. So these would look lovely anywhere in your home. Great in a conservatory or garden room if you've got that. Don't feel that you have to put flowers or plants in them. You could put anything you want. If you can find a test tube small enough to go in them, you could even use them as reed diffusers perhaps, but don't forget to put something inside them, inside the opening, so that you know you're putting your mixture of oils in there and not directly into this piece. So here's the end shot here. Look at that, pinky, purpley blue, bits of rose gold, bits of green looking in this. I think it's picking up some of the colours from the background, but I love it. It's very much Aurora Borealis or petrol and water sort of look. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again very soon. Take care.